Military assets as public spaces. We believe that civilian use of former defence compounds can play a key role in urban regeneration. The dismissal of productive sites often poses environmental and economic issues that municipalities need to deal with as political and social problems. Why not reverse this process, making military heritage the symbol of more conscious and participated urban planning policies, favouring cohesion and inclusiveness to prevent deterioration and abandonment? Nine cities, one target. An integrated action plan for the urban regeneration of our dismissed military heritage, involving local communities and stakeholders in a sustainable project for the future reuse of these once secluded areas. In the realms of the URBACT programme, partners have exchanged experiences and best practices, widening their horizons in an international perspective.
The municipality of Szombathely had many features of learning, many tasks, many experiences. We had to be able to take part of a large international project, taking part of international cooperation meetings, doing homeworks, exchanging knowledge, exchanging good experiences, but also to work our own problem, to start really looking at the barracks area and realizing what had been done and what could be from new perspectives.
URBACT and MAPS has been a great chance to bring new ideas, fresh ideas from different countries around Europe, and that we have to take advantage of that. It's a great opportunity to change the traditional way of doing things.
Engagement, reappropriation, reuse. These are the key words to change the identity of longly dismissed urban areas, fostering imagination about their future status as public spaces to be enjoyed by the whole community.
And so, from the point of view of the average person in Longford town, they know the outside of the building, predominantly through a wrought iron gate here and an entrance, and on occasions, and only on occasions, they will come in to attend a festival or something similar to that. So one of the first things is not many people know that much about the barracks, except of course the people that worked here over the years as soldiers, who no longer, sadly, many of them not in the community.
We had 3 open day events and they were very successful. Many people have visited the barracks for the first time in their lives. We collected the feedback from the visitors.
Conseguimos reunir a más de 350 personas un 3 de diciembre, un día fantástico con un sol radiante como el de hoy, y en ese día, pues, con esa ayuda de esas 350 personas de toda índole, grupos scout, ancianos e incluso gente octogenaria y nonagenaria del barrio, conseguimos plantar 1200 árboles durante toda una mañana de trabajo en colaboración.
A 5 and 10 kilometer walk for families, runners, tourists, citizens along the military track in Espinho. This is how our Portuguese partners decided to organize their open day, involving different types of audiences in the discovery and possible uses of their former defense heritage. Political institutions and citizens, two sides that can find a common ground in the URBACT local groups, acting both as an essential point of connection and as the main player in promoting action and debate.
The biggest challenge for the municipality was creating the local support group, because there was no experience for the municipality and the mayor's office on this field.
We succeeded in this group to involve those people who were already working on this area for several attempts, and also those who were not, who were new to the issue and who brought in new ideas. And we also wanted to elaborate a new approach.
During MAPS, we have used all URBACT methodologies for city planning, and we have included wide circle of stakeholders.
Well, small enough ones, but at the same time the identification and engagement of an active group of people with a strategic vision, if you like, for the site, because that's very, very important that those involved would have a vision for the site. Caused a little bit of problem in the beginning, but I think we all got our act together in the end and it worked out very well.
Y desde la universidad se coordina la redacción técnica de ese plan de acción integral. Desde, como iniciativa de los profesores que participamos en la redacción de ese documento, se propone que pueden ser un tema que los alumnos trabajen desde diferentes asignaturas, desde diferentes puntos de vista y a lo largo de diversos periodos de tiempo.
A park or sports grounds where a brownfield used to be, a museum or an art gallery in once abandoned and rugged barracks, not as a dream but as a project to be pursued in each city. How do we get there?
The problems that we encountered at the beginning of the project were people were coming from different perspectives and people with different visions for the site. I suppose through collaboration and through involvement and through consultation through the period of the project, we came together at the end of it with a shared vision for the site, and the problems became opportunities.
We not only need to work on the recovering of the castle, we need to work with the people who live here. There was no control and we need to do it again, everything again, but we have to do it all together.
So our idea is to keep working locally, regionally and nationally to make this project a reality in the midterm or long term.
I think there has to be an openness to all opportunities and all possibilities. I think there has to be honesty in the engagement, there has to be transparency in the decision-making process. And that to me is really important to ensure that the community and also the citizens of the county engage whatever decision and support it. Because if we don't have their support, this will never fly.
One of the greatest challenges in the urban regeneration of military heritage lies in combining different perspectives: social and cultural needs, the urge for innovation, and the protection of the environment.
The partners of the project were assembled from different countries with different problems, and the main task was not only to integrate the area by solving the infrastructure issue, but solving the social integration issue.
Es una regeneración clara de un espacio que estaba totalmente degradado. Tenemos que pensar que estas laderas estaban llenas de basura. El empobrecimiento del suelo era también muy palpable, y de pasar a ser prácticamente un basurero ha pasado a ser a futuro un bosque no solo como zona verde para el disfrute de la ciudad y de los ciudadanos de Los Mateos, de Santa Lucía y del resto de ciudadanos de Cartagena, sino para la docencia, porque aquí están presentes todas las especies botánicas de uno de los litorales más ricos en cuanto al Mediterráneo, en cuanto a flora se refiere, que es el litoral entre Almería y Alicante.
New vision is to create a new green city center. And since this area is 20 hectares mostly unused, with historical monument buildings of high architectural value that are suitable for incubators, for community creation like co-working places for local artists or for local museum spaces. These are suitable for a lot of things, and we've been working in this local group on an action plan to implement these ideas in this area.
We want to create new contemporary and sustainable neighborhood, a new city subcenter. It will be high-quality open public space and a counterweight to a traditional historical public space in the city core.
And certainly Fort Asterstein is a perfect place for culture, for cultural events, with a beautiful facade, and it's also a place where worth to go here for tourists that can learn about the military history of Koblenz and Prussia in the 19th century.
From a good place for children's holidays, a place to produce art, a hotspot for living history, an arena for all kinds of events. Thinking about the future for me is that all year long many different people are working here and, of course, celebrating.
We want the City Council to accept IAP as a strategic document. Our first challenge in the revitalization of Optuska was and still is to resolve the ownership of the area between the city and the state.
Communication challenge was to apply innovative methodologies such as communication through social media to explain the situations and all the problems we faced while developing the action plan.
Bringing people to share ideas for the future of their own cities shows us the true meaning of the URBACT program and of our project. Defining socially oriented and inclusive urban planning policies.
It is important for us to achieve active participation from the local community and involve them in the development of this area. Participation of the citizens is one of the main topics we have adopted from URBACT program.
Πολύ θετικές οι εμπειρίες μας από τη συμμετοχή μας στο πρόγραμμα MAPS. Μεγάλη βαρύτητα δίνουμε στην αξιοποίηση των στρατοπέδων, διότι έτσι θα ενισχυθούν οι πολιτιστικές, κοινωνικές και αθλητικές δραστηριότητες του Δήμου Σερών, αλλά και παράλληλα οι Σεραίοι πολίτες θα απολαμβάνουν τα ωραιότατα πάρκα που υπάρχουν στους χώρους των στρατοπέδων και αποτελούν οάσεις χώρων αναψυχής.
Integrated action plan is a strategic document that gives us answers for future actions and of course guidelines regarding financing.
Beautiful and interesting experience because we could see how other cities were thinking about the vision of the future. We could share all this in an international background where thinking were working, they were doing the best possible to share ideas with the citizenship, with people, to carry on the best practice for the future of their cities.
Well, I suppose, look, it's not completed as yet, but there has been a very succinct scoping exercise done, and there's a strategy which will contain achievable objectives and actions. And then, of course, after that, the main thing will be identifying who delivers these and where the funding is going to come from, because that is all going to be so crucial to the success of the project.
So the solutions that we adopted to tackle those problems was using the collaborative approach, getting everybody to share the same vision for the site, and I suppose every stakeholder had to go to Longford town at heart, and it was easy to convince them to all face the same way, and I think everybody is all facing the same way now, and it's onwards and upwards.
We had really good discussions and we shared a lot of interesting ideas and experiences with the colleagues from all over Europe. And a kind of extra benefit of the project is that it fosters European identity on a very, very personal level. I think that a lot of people will stay in contact even after the project is finished and maybe create some new initiatives and some new projects in the future.
La recuperación del Castillo de los Mateos.
sería beneficioso para el barrio, yo creo que al 100%.
Pues para los habitantes de la zona del castillo supondría otra imagen, porque la verdad tiene muy mala imagen por la zona en la que vivimos, supondría puestos de trabajo, otro ambiente para la juventud.
Lo que sé, los establecimientos, porque cuando van las excursiones no se puede uno parar. Pero cuando vas por libre, pues vienes por esta calle, mira, vas por la otra, y mira aquí esto, aquí hay lo otro. Y yo creo que ya mucha gente también ya se preocuparía más de su fachada, de sus cosas.
Round calendar of events to attract people to Military Town.
Supratau, per lėtai eina.
Ja.
Čia visiems...
Ne, viskas gerai. Palik, aš lėčiau sakysiu, aš esu...
Dabar biškelį atsitrauk, vieną žingsnį toliau. Stop, po taip.
One day there will be a very active economical park with huge big companies, a lot of cars and a lot of people. I hope that people will love that place, and the name of that territory as Military Town will live only in historical records. Thank you, Maps, for the given wider view.
Dievas, padėk normaliai. Kai normaliai, ein. Kaip panikščių šilelį ką tik kalė, Baranausko.
A park or... non mi ricordo più? Ok, vado. A park or sports grounds where a brownfield used to be. A museum or an art gallery in once abandoned... No, scusa, mi sono sconcentrata adesso. Ok. A park or sports grounds where a brownfield used to be. A museum or an art gallery in once... Buonanotte. Porca miseria.